Thank you for inviting me. I'm delighted to be here. I had such a good day. So, here's the story of VGTV. Let's have a look. Hopefully, it will give some insights. First, a short history lesson. VG was started in 1945. In the 1960s, it became the largest Norwegian newspaper as a popular and entertaining single-copy tabloid. For years, its circulation was growing, and it reached its peak in 2002. And from then, we have lost 17% of the circulation. But we have managed to keep the profit margin, just a second, stable. First of all, because we have a strong digital position, and we are the largest media house, newspaper and online site combined, and reach 54% of the population above the age of 12 every day, but only 9.9 with the paper edition. We are fortunate. Norwegians are nuts about news, and 90% of us are on the internet daily. In VG, we have something we call the Christmas Eve Index. December 24th is a good day because we more or less do the same thing every year. Some of us go to church in the afternoon, do some traditions during the day, and go home for Christmas dinner and presents, and normally there are no big news. In 2009, 93% of the visits to our front page came from the desktop, as you see here. Only 7% from the mobile phone, while last year, 62% of the visits came from the mobile phone and 17% from the tablet. So we are in the midst of a revolution. So this was a brief history of VG. Now let's move to the future, video. Online video is still very much in development. We are probably just scratching the surface on visual storytelling in digital forms. Many traditional media companies have organized their online TV production with content similar to what's shown on linear TV. What have they discovered? People do not want to watch linear TV online. It needs to be done differently. Let's have a look at the first video published on vg.no. This is 18 years ago from the Nagano Olympics. Here is the Norwegian alpine skier Hans Petter Burås, who, by the way, won the gold medal. Talks about the weather. So this was the quality. Fun fact, VG's paper edition sent 18 persons to cover the Olympics. Our online site, launched in '95, sent 1. So today, breaking news can keep us going 24/7. Moving Images presents a crucial part of the digital transformation of VG. 2 years ago, we expanded heavily, and also we have invested a lot the last 2 years. We established VGTV as an independent company, and we also launched a linear TV channel because that gives us revenues we wouldn't have had otherwise. But a strategic imperative for us is a heavily emphasis on digital. The linear TV channel is a spin-off of what we do digitally. We are currently trying to build a web-native TV experience, targeting a younger audience. And, like on it, we don't have a TV legacy. It can be an advantage. And when the traditional broadcasters see that Putin chooses to be interviewed by VGTV, they react A little bit like Snoop Dogg.
How's the party when you changing? No?
Do you feel like that on it sometimes? Well, VG's value proposition is, what's the latest news? Keep me informed. News is the most important thing we do. And online video are no longer nice to have, but a must, a necessity. And an integrated part of our online site, as you partly see here.
When you want to know the latest news, why it happens, and how the world reacts, it's good to know that someone is always there to give you the answers, facts, and information you need. The last 3 years, VG Direct has shown 500,000 tweets, given 250,000 news updates, answered 10,000 questions, and streamed 5,000 live events. First used during the terrorist trial in 2012, when every single word was gathered. Today, it is VG's most important tool, used to cover countless unforgettable moments. More than 3 million Norwegians have been entertained, enlightened, and updated through Norway's fastest news service. VG Direct is operating 24/7, 365 days a year, led by the best news reporters in the country. Whether it's complicated numbers, world record attempts, a greedy nation, or pure happiness, we will keep you updated all the time, now.
VGTV's content strategy rests on 3 pillars. That is news, actuality-driven entertainment programs, and high-quality documentaries. I will come back to that. We aim to be a differentiated alternative to the Norwegian Broadcasting Company and the largest commercial player, TV2. Keywords for us, we'd like to be informal, unconventional, authentic, and while our competitors bring tons of gear, we just do it. This is from the terrorist attack in Paris. VGTV was located in 4 different places in and around Paris. An iPhone and a selfie stick, that's all you need to go on air and online. It's fast, it's efficient, and the quality is getting better and better. We are growing in both views and users. We have more than 700 views, started streams after pre-rolls every day. This gives us about 25 million views per month, which is quite a lot in a nation with 5 million people. New York Times, according to DigiDay, that's the latest numbers I have, had 18 million views per month in April last year. So, but as we are a mosquito compared to the giants, and as we all know, today the competition is global. We have to do both, entertain and enlighten. Depth and impact matters, journalism matters. I'd like to share with you one of our biggest successes. It's a series portraying young Norwegian growing up in a society fueled by oil, which is a mixed blessing. The episodes are 7 to 15 minutes long.
Ting skal skje i løpet
We have to provide in-depth journalism. This is Odin, a 13-year-old boy who got bullied at school and committed suicide. This was a story we published on all platforms of VG, including making a documentary. It triggered a lot of engagement in social media and has won several awards. Here's another investigative work we have done. It's the downloaders. It's about Norwegian men who download child pornography. They think they are invisible, but they are not. Also a story we published on all platforms of VG, including making a documentary.
Det siste året har Einar, som en av landets fremste dataeksperter, arbeidet med svært omfattende datamateriale. Det inneholder 36 millioner nedlastninger fra hele verden, og viser at mange nordmenn laster inn bilder og filmer som dokumenterer grove seksuelle overgrep mot barn. Fra den loggen som har vist deg sted? Det vi sitter igjen med da klare indikasjoner på hvem i Norge som har lastet ned avgjørelsesmateriale, hvilke filer de har lastet ned, når de har lastet ned, og fra hvilke nettsteder. Datamateriale og Einars analyse av det slår fast en ting. De som laster ned, kan avsløres. Hvor gammel tenker du at dette er? Nei, det står på så de er sånn 10 år gamle. De er pene. Søte.
So our ambition is to be the #1 channel for documentaries in Norway. We have currently more than 200 high-quality documentaries available for free online, while we offer 8 documentaries a day on our linear channel. We aim to get the best from the global market. These are some examples: amazing documentaries. International high-quality documentaries are available at a quite low cost, and they are hugely popular. This is important. It needs to be personal, then people love you. We looked into the lives of the 11,000 Norwegians who died during World War II.
They gave their lives for our freedom. In a unique digital feature, VG has collected the stories of the 11,724 Norwegians who perished in the Second World War. Look up your family's war heroes and the biggest historical events. Watch day by day who died and where in the world the war took their lives. Go to vg.no and explore the Norwegian war destinies, and especially they fell for Norway.
As everyone, we'd like to be as big as possible. That means that we have to be on several platforms. Snapchat's Discover might be next. Periscope we use it quite a lot. It's great, both as a tool and as a distribution channel. 2015 is the year in which publishers truly lost control of distribution. Third parties, such as Snapchat and Discover, are taking positions as publishers from publishers. For VG, however, it's hugely important to keep our position as a popular destination in people's life. 80% of our traffic to our front page is direct traffic. When you manage to be a platform, a destination people keep going back to, it means that you have a relation to those people. It goes without saying that the financial value of that is high. We believe in a dual strategy of destination and distribution of content. We do believe that we need to publish more of our content on external platforms that builds scale and brand and is a great way to interact with people. Following the customers, that's important, but we need to find ways to monetize it. So we are constantly working on optimizing a strategy for external platforms, including social media. Millennials are snackers. We are experiencing a fundamental shift in how news is consumed. We are moving towards a much more visual society. Snackable content is on the rise. That is content that's easy and fast to consume. Young people consume content in bits and pieces throughout the day, always connected and always on the go. This generation, they are no less interested in news than any generation before them. But unlike most of us here today, I think we have to face that. We are text-oriented while they are video-oriented. They see the world through video. They simply prefer video to text. So short-form video is the undisputed format of choice for millennials. Clips less than a minute are hugely popular. Know that you can tell a story in 30 seconds. Even for Netflix, mobile viewing sessions, 87% of the mobile viewing sessions are less than 10 minutes. So we need to optimize the mobile viewing experience. We need more engaging and efficient storytelling. People's use of video on the mobile phone is different than on desktop. It's expected to be more compact. We know that we don't know what the media landscape will look like in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, but we know that the future of news is not an article. It's much more likely a combination of moving images, animation, graphics, social media. So I think the video I'm going to share with you here is a brilliant way of telling an important and complicated story in an engaging way about the oil crisis, and it's also done in a way that makes this story reach a broader audience. So last fall in August, we started to publish much more native videos on Facebook. The aim was to broaden our audience through social media and to become the largest largest aggregator regarding videos on Facebook in Norway. It has given us a remarkable reach, no revenues so far, but has given us much insight about how to make videos on social media. And in order to understand how these different platforms work, you have to be using it very actively. Here's a story about a girl and her dog, beautiful story, light phenomena over Oslo, an interview with an Al-Qaeda group in Syria, all under a minute, less than a minute. This is another good example. Justin Bieber came to Oslo in the fall. It was a scandal. He left the stage after one song. A young girl spilled a tiny bit of water on the stage, and he tried to wipe it up, and he got upset, so he left the stage. And we made this video, and it got a huge reach. And what's fascinating about it was that it appealed to both Bieber's fans and his non-fans. Many shared the video about how to cope with difficulties on the stage.
Okay, I'm trying to wipe the floor. Give me a second, yo. Yeah, no, I'm done. I'm not doing the show. I'm not doing the show.
It was had 2.5 million views. It was in Norwegian, so that's, yeah, again, in a nation with 5 million, that's quite a lot. So what has worked for us? You have to start with something compelling. People have a short attention span. You have perhaps only 2 to 3 seconds to get someone's attention. Usually, context is important, but it's often not the most compelling thing in your story, so do not start with the context. Then your audience might never get to the most interesting part. Do not tease or trick. Nobody will share a video if they feel cheated. Make it short, avoid long and complicated sentences. That might be hard for the ones of us that are used to that the internet has endless of space. And use graphics, symbols, animation. It's engaging. What has been essential for us is quadratic video to maximize the images in the Facebook feed. The video plays right away. Whatever content you make it possible to watch and consume without sound. And all our videos have our logo to make sure that people understand that this is content from VGTV. Here is just an example of how difficult it is to keep people's attention. We think there is a potential with sponsored content in social media. So we took a food video and adjusted it to Facebook format. And see what happens when the sponsor poster appears. Here it comes, in cooperation with Philips. We lose half of the audience because of that in the second the poster appears. So we tried without a poster, and we keep the audience. But then we do want the sponsor to be visible, so I show you what we are testing now later on. Snapchat is not possible to ignore, at least not in Norway. 80% between the age of 15 and 29 are on Snapchat. So when Bieber came to Norway, we decided, let's do this properly. Let's cover this as the political department would have done if Obama and Putin came to Oslo at the same time. Snapchat is an amazing tool, and it gave us a lot of good content.
When Justin Bieber visits Norway, chaos usually follows. Teenage girls, their mothers, believers, and Bieber haters. Everyone is following the pop star's movements, and it's the news event of the month every time it happens. When Justin Bieber visited Norway last October, another broadcaster had exclusive interview rights and exclusive access to a lockdown limited access concert. How can BGTV become the leading news source for the event, despite having close to no access? Through the Snapchat account BGTV ran police, BGTV's entertainment division built a large Snapchat audience in record time. By talking directly with our core audience and by snapping behind-the-scenes pictures from BGTV's regular entertainment show, posting Snapchat-exclusive content with celebrities, and publishing entertainment news using teenage language, the number of followers grew past the goal of 10,000 to 22,000 in just a few months. In a small country and with a limited target group, up to 18,000 people watched every published snap. Hundreds responded with their own pictures every week, often with celebrity selfies that could be used in the TV show. This culminated during Justin Bieber's visit. Everyone in the target audience watched BGTV's 24-hour live coverage of Bieber's visit October 29, 2015. The lucky few who got a glimpse of the superstar snapped those pictures to BGTV and thus our viewers. Suddenly, hundreds of teenagers were undercover photographers for BGTV. The marketing tool became a highly valuable journalistic tool. And during the lockdown event, BGTV could show images and video from the concert in close to real time.
I'm done. Back to the show.
When Bieber left the stage after one song, blaming some young girls in the audience, BGTV were the first broadcasters to show pictures of the outrage that became news all over the world. It gathered a stunning 1.3 million views in only one day, just on BGTV.no. Through the Snapchat account, and by being the leading news source for a Bieber-hungry audience, BGTV's entertainment show has built an audience of loyal and engaging teenagers.
So while Facebook is important for distribution, Snapchat has become for us an important journalistic tool. To sum up, social is the new distribution, mobile devices are the new consumption. We constantly look at the numbers. What works, what does not work. And the metrics and numbers are available to everyone. We have dedicated front page editors. That's probably the most important investment BGTV has done historically, to have dedicated front page editors. We saw an immediate rise in traffic when we did that. Disrupt yourself, otherwise someone else will do it. Talked about earlier today, money full of eyeballs. This is the ad revenues from 2009 to 2015 for print, desktop, mobile, and web TV. Why don't we hardly see any numbers for mobile in 2009 and 2010? It was hardly anything. In 2009, our revenue for mobile was 1 million Norwegian crowns. In 2014, it was almost 200 million Norwegian crowns. That's about 25 million US dollars. So it's happening so incredible fast. To only save money and cut costs, that's not a sustainable strategy for survival. You need to invest in future growth, to invest in new initiatives that will make you sustainable in the future. As a startup, you have to be prepared for deficits 2 to 3 years before a takeoff, perhaps longer. This is also the case with VGTV. It's not profitable, and it will not be profitable, perhaps not even next year. It's an investment in the future. For VG, we have had a good experience with the major initiatives to establish independent companies for a few years. We did that with VG.no in 1995 and with VG Mobile in 2010 and now with VGTV in 2014. This is a model that gives, for us, it has given freedom and focus. The secret of change is not to fight the old, but use all your energy on building the new. It's challenging to make money on the web TV today. The web TV advertising market is still immature, but we are convinced that it's just a matter of time before the shift in consumption will pay off, also in revenues. Competition from the international giants, YouTube, Google, and Facebook, is threatening our revenues. Future growth will increasingly depend on technology and our ability to collect and use data on individuals and to deliver the best products. Have you seen this before? It's the first internet ads ever. Do you know when it's from? It's October 1994. It's described as the worst and the best innovation in online advertising ever. Does it look very different from banner ads or display ads today? For too long, ads have been annoying and flashy. Quality is important when creating ads. Also, the commercial products need to focus on storytelling, engagement, and interactivity. Online video ads are very efficient. It makes a whole lot of sense for advertisers to embrace online video. But what most brands have done is to simply put their TV ads on the internet. Only now do we see that publishers are delivering creativity around video ads. We need to get beyond the discussion of 30 seconds pre-rolls. We are experimenting with shorter pre-rolls and use our experience and know-how from social media native video production. You can tell tell an efficient story in six seconds. And we need to create opportunities for advertisers to connect with the content on VGTV and on social media. And we talked about the food videos earlier. Here is what we are testing these days. And the sponsor is here in the upper left corner. And it stays there through the video. Now I'd like to show you a great story. It's branded content. It's campaign we ran for the largest Norwegian bank.
Young people in Norway hear it all the time. They're lazy, self-absorbed, and an ungrateful generation. As a bank, we interact with a lot of young customers every day, and our experience is quite different. So we wanted to do a social experiment, and we found Magna, a 58-year-old carpenter who likes fly fishing, and who thinks young people are, well... Ungdom I dag latere og mer bortskjemt enn da vi var unge, og det står jeg ved, det mener jeg. Well, is he right? We thought we'd let Magna find out for himself. and we made him swap life with Peter, a pretty typical 22-year-old student living in Oslo with 3 friends. And we made him young again, a web series of 7 episodes airing the very same week it all happened. For 1 week, Magna took over Peter's life, moving in with his roommates, taking care of his 3 extra jobs, his social life, his Tinder dates, working out and hanging out, even managing his social media accounts, so people could follow and interact with him live the whole week. And everything on Peter's tight budget. As the days passed by, even Magna started to realise that being young today can be pretty demanding, having to live up to an endless range of expectations. Every episode ended with DNB saying it's not that easy being young, and that's why we give our best terms and conditions to our young customers, with specific offers for the young. Young Again had more than 900,000 views, 70% of them unique, meaning that more than 10% of Norway followed an advertising campaign by choice. Young Again was the most searched keyword at Norway's biggest website that week. Sales of car loans and insurance to young people both increased by 30% in 1 week. And best of all, DNB increased its awareness on being the best bank for young people and now leads the other banks by 10%.
This is going to be very important, branded content, and it goes without saying. I mean, it's more engaging than display ads and 30 seconds pre-rolls. Think outside the box, all the way to the box office, surprise, do something unexpected. The good news is there are millions of ideas we haven't yet embraced. We have just finished a documentary about Magnus Carlsen, the world chess champion. It's to be released internationally for cinemas in the fall, and it's sold to many countries already. Hope to show it on Tribeca Film Festival in April. I'd like to show you the pitch we did for IDFA, the International Documentary Festival in Amsterdam. And the images where Magnus, as a young teenager, talks about how he got tormented at school have never been shown publicly before.
Kasparov was at the time #1 ranked in the world. Magnus somehow tricked him in the opening.
This boy had impelled talent.
Jag håper på att bli världsmästare.
He did have some special traits quite early on. Has it been a mystery to me that Magnus has become so new all the time? We were a bit worried because he was kicked and beaten in school.
De prøver egentlig å plage meg mest mulig. Jeg blir jo på en måte utenfor. Jeg er jo veldig annerledes i klassen. Det er jeg.
The chessboard is always pictured in my head.
Magnus is obviously a chess genius.
When I see a chess game, I just feel that there's some new idea which I haven't seen.
Some of the critics say that you are simply afraid to take on an
No, I am not scared.
His rating now is the highest in history.
I think today we're going to witness either a miraculous comeback or a new world champion.
This is
The director is a 26-year-old video journalist at IGTV. Thank you.